Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about my content predictions for tomorrow here in NBA 2K26 My Team. I'm really not entirely sure what to think about tomorrow's content because it looks like there's not going to be a festival attached or anything like that, and we know All-Star content is almost certainly coming next week. So I'm really not sure what 2K is going to do in terms of a content drop for tomorrow. There is absolutely a chance it is just another, what I call the AI generated content drops, where just like the Beasts drop, the Crossroads drop, the Feast and Frostbite, Flash, all these different drops that just feel like they just pick players and pick a team, pick a name to a drop, and doesn't really mean anything. Last week's Friday drop was terrible though. Like maybe the worst overall Friday drop we've seen all year. There have been a couple of bad ones, but this one was really bad. Harden is a good card, but he is absolutely nothing insane. And David Robinson, they didn't put his jumper on very quick. Like, he was super duper mid. The opals were all mid. Dominique, Alonzo, Joe Johnson. I mean, legitimately, I did not do gameplays on any of the 2 Dark Matters or the 3 opals in this past weekend because honestly, the opals just weren't that exciting, and I didn't get an account with either of the Dark Matters. I'm not going to buy them myself to do gameplays with them with how expensive they were going for. I just realistically think this past Friday's drop was really underwhelming. Now, I'll try not to make that be the case again where I don't do gameplay on some of the top tier cards, even if they are more underwhelming for this weekend's drop as well. I'll try to make sure I get gameplays out anyway, but just overall, this was such an underwhelming drop, top to bottom. Pink Diamonds kind of sucked, besides Walker Kessler, and I guess AJ Mitchell's good, but even the Diamonds were like, I mean, they were fine, I guess. There were a couple of good Diamonds, but still, just overall, a very, very underwhelming drop compared to, I think, what we have become used to. And to be fair, the Opals and the Pink Diamonds are likely going to be underwhelming. Unless they drop non-hidden gems, they're just likely to be underwhelming. The question is, at what point do we start to get non-hidden gems? Because there's still 42 Galaxy Opals. Like, that's a lot of Friday drops worth of Galaxy Opals if they want to keep dropping them in packs. There's still 60 Pink Diamonds. Yeah, they're dropping 6 a week, but the amount of them that are left in here, I mean, if they drop most of them, because there's only 10 Diamonds and 10 Amethysts left, obviously they're not dropping any more hidden gems there, but that's 50 more here and 32 more here before they get to 10 left of each of those tiers to match the rest of the hidden gems that are not going to be dropping in packs. So it's just one of those things where it's like, what is their plan with these? That's one thing I'm really interested to see. That being said, I would not be surprised if, even though Lunar New Year is not until February, I believe, 17th, which is actually a Tuesday, but I would say it is possible that we see a Lunar New Year drop tomorrow. I think it's really legitimately possible. Despite it being too early, I would also say that it is absolutely possible that we see a Lunar New Year drop on February 17th, which is that Tuesday. The reason that I'm a little hesitant to say that that's going to come then is because that is the final week of the season. The season ends like February 21st, and Season 5 will start then. So I think it is possible that 2K just looks at it and goes, you know what? I know it hasn't come out yet, but we get this sort of Chinese New Year drop every single year. Feels like maybe they drop it a little bit early this year with potentially a slightly different theme or something like that. But with a lot of those players that I think a lot of us have come to know and love over the years from these Chinese New Year style drops, because 2K's been doing them at this point now for a pretty long time, honestly. And so we'll see if that winds up being the case again this year. I hope we get something. I can say that with confidence. Something related to a Lunar New Year style drop of some sort would be sick. I'll say that. A couple years ago, I mean, I remember they did the there was the free grindable Damian Lillard card, or sorry, the free grindable, I think there was a date, no, sorry, the free grindable Jean Leon card a couple of years ago. I don't remember if there was actually a Chinese New Year drop or any sort of Lunar New Year drop in 2K23, but I do remember us getting that free E card in 2K24. Let me actually, you know what, let's pull it up. Let's take a look at what it looked like. 2K24, what did we get for Lunar New Year, and when did we get it? We got, you know what, 2K24, it doesn't look like we got anything. Did they not do any sort of drop at all for 2K24 for Lunar New Year? Oh, no, they did. I'm dumb. They dropped this drop in 2K24 with Beasley, Marbury, Yao, E, Andre Blatch, JJ Hickson, OJ Mayo, Wang Zizi, and then some amethysts as well. Last year, of course, we got the Uber, that's the wrong thing. We got the Uber loaded drop. Well, I guess it wasn't even the drop itself that was that loaded compared to just the amount of overall good cards in the drop for Lunar New Year. Obviously, I mean, Team Pippin was really good. I guess the Opals weren't that insane. E was good, yeah, was good, but they weren't unbelievable. T-Mac was fine too. But this Beasley card was just unbelievable last year. So many cards used him. So many players used him for such a long time, realistically. It just wouldn't surprise me at all to see a drop that does kind of consist of a lot of these players again. Obviously, not all these players are associated with playing in China or being Asian players of some form or fashion, but wouldn't be surprised if we see Stephon Marbury, for example. Although I guess I say that Marbury just got a card, so they're not going to get Marbury because he literally just got a card. But I'm trying to think of names of guys. Well, I'm surprised they didn't save Marbury actually for this type of a job. An Ejon Leon, a Yao Ming, somebody along those lines. We get a lot of those types of cards on a year-to-year basis. I realistically do think that there's a very good chance that we see Michael Beasley and Yao Ming tomorrow. Those are the two main players that I think a lot of people are really looking forward to when it comes to a Lunar New Year drop. And if they were to drop some sort of drop, even if it's not officially called Lunar New Year, and it has Dark Matter Yao, Dark Matter Michael Beasley as the headliners, or Dark Matter Yao and Dark Matter somebody else as the headliners, and a Galaxy Opal Michael Beasley, or whatever the case may be. I think that's something that a lot of people would be really, truly excited about, and for good reason. I mean, there is, with the way Beasley was last year, I'm expecting 2K will likely make him very, very good again. He does have a diamond card this year that's a wild gem that doesn't have a very good jumper, but to be fair, that was the case last year too. He had a diamond hidden gem that didn't have a very good jump shot. So I think it's possible that we do see some sort of Lunar New Year style drop. I again also think it's possible that we see an auto-generated drop. If we see an auto-generated drop, I don't really expect any all-stars from this year to come out in there. I know we just got a big, but I think another big, we got a couple bigs in a row actually, but somebody like maybe a Dirk Nowitzki would make sense, more of a power forward. Wouldn't be a shocker at all as a headlining player as well if it's not going to be a Lunar New Year style drop. Let's see, who else would make a lot of sense? I think Penny Hardaway or Magic Johnson, one of the two at the point guard position, makes a lot of sense, as well as a headliner for a person obviously who can't be an all-star because not a current player. My guess is that we see a drop that either consists of Lunar New Year specific cards or of something along the lines of a Dirk Nowitzki, a Penny Hardaway, or a Magic Johnson as the headliners. I would be cool with it if they dropped Lunar New Year content on a Tuesday, and honestly, I think we need more Tuesday content in general in my team. It's something that I think they have kind of slacked on as of late, and I've really, as much as I have liked a lot of aspects of season 4, I think it's really, really important to have consistent content more than one day a week, and that has not been consistently the case. Now, it's happened at times, and I mean, stuff like the greatness content was great, but realistically, you need more consistent things to do, I think, during the week, and having midweek Tuesday content drops is a great way to do that. So if they decide to do Lunar New Year like that, that's completely fine. I still do hope we get a non-hidden gem opal, though. Somebody like, I know they just dropped Artist Gilmore, but a big who's affordable would be nice. Now, that being said, we're probably going to get Pink Diamond Young Hanson, Pink Diamond Donovan Kling, and guys like that from Rising Stars cards here in a week. So maybe it's not a big, but a nice big would be good. A really good shooting guard would be super nice. I will say that the All-Star drop does not look like it's going to include a lot of top-tier shooting guard options, and I do think the shooting guard position in terms of attainable cards is already one of the weakest in the game. So a high-level Galaxy Opal or Pink Diamond shooting guard would be pretty sick. Like if they were to drop, for example, I'm just going to throw a name out there, but a Galaxy Opal Rudy Gay who could play the shooting guard position. That would be a sick card. Now, would they actually do that? I don't know. That may be a little bit ambitious, but something along those lines would be awesome, especially for the people who did not get Terry Dishinger, who are looking for that type of attainable shooting guard, because at the end of the day, as great as Alex Sarr is, and I have him on both my accounts, it would have been nice to have Terry Dishinger, especially on my Pro Money Spent account. So that's my number one request tomorrow, honestly, is that we get a high-level shooting guard option. I think that would be sick. I do think there's a very good chance we get Yao Ming, Michael Beasley, guys like that tomorrow. I think it's also very possible we get a drop that has nothing to do with Lunar New Year, and it's just another one of those, like I said earlier in the video, AI-generated style content drops. That being said, it's going to do it for the video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.